to this episode of ET Now Hangouts Season 2. I'm Ankita Saxena. Well, in this episode, I'm speaking to the founder of Miraggio, Mohit Jain. Now, Miraggio was founded in 2019 to bridge a clear market gap, the lack of high-end, design-forward accessories that were both aspirational and accessible. Well, the brand quickly became the fastest-growing player in India's D2C accessories space, growing at a rapid clip of 120% on a year-on-year basis. Now, with a rapidly growing portfolio of 800 plus SKUs, Miraggio is entering a defining phase of expansion. Over the next 1 year, the brand is in fact projecting to surpass 200 crore rupees in net sales, supported by a strong omni-channel strategy and an accelerated focus on product innovation, retail expansion and brand building. So let's talk to Mohit about more on 2019. So what was the market gap that you saw here, and what is the market problem that you were trying to solve back in 2019?
When I came back to India after finishing my studies from Canada, I saw handbag market was entirely broken in India. Either there was mass brands who were not delivering quality, and customers were facing a pride of ownership on those bags. On the other side of things were expensive brands, premium brands which were actually solving for designs but were not value for money. And there was a wide gap in Indian market, and I wanted to make sure that premium products were accessible to a larger segment of consumers, and it is not just a occasional indulgence, but more like a everyday life part, and that's exactly what we're trying to solve. There was a very wide gap between a price point of 2,000 to 8,000 rupees, and that's exactly where Miraggio sits, to solve for premium brands products which are also accessible.
Right, so when you just gave the price point with the range of 2,000 to 8,000 rupees, so how do you describe a premium brand versus a luxury brand? What's your differentiation basically?
Interesting. Luxury brands, I think, are exclusive, are
like a Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, they're, I think, exclusive. They're rare, and they're extremely highly priced. Whereas a premium brand on the other side is high quality, which is also luxury brands, but a premium brand is high quality, but also is accessible and elevated more consumer experience, right? Miraggio sits between the both. We try to deliver global aesthetic standard products to Indian consumer, but while making sure that they're also accessible.
Right. So, I was going through the numbers, and I see some staggering growth for Miraggio. In fact, you're seeing 50% growth on a month-on-month basis. You've seen 120% a year-on-year growth. What has led to this exponential boom, and what have been your levers for growth?
I think first the gap that was there in the market, but I think it's very, very strong execution, a solid team. I think that's simply put in is one of the biggest reason of the huge success. But I think more importantly, if I were to point it out, we're the only brand in India who launches bags every single month. We have a consumer-first approach, so we understand our consumer really, really well. What they want, how they want, how fast they want. So we are the first brand to be launching bags every month, as I said. So I think the freshness and the relevancy that we're able to bring in the product on monthly basis, I think that is one of the reasons. And second, the faster deliveries to consumers, the omni-channel presence that we're able to create. Third, for consumers, we're able to also do a very relevant storytelling on social media, great content. So I think consumer do connect, and this clearly, the growth clearly tells us there was actually a very, very wide gap in Indian market, which we're able to fulfill clearly.
Right, Mohit, you mentioned that you're the only brand that comes out with new bags every month. Now, while that leads to quick growth, what about the margins? Because how do you drive cost efficiencies with new launches every single month?
That's the secret sauce, right? So I think we are able to do this while maintaining the quality, while keeping the price transparency, and also at the same time sustain decent margins. I think that's where our strong back-end supply chain comes into the picture. We are able to test market with smaller quantities of products, but at the same time are also able to scale basis the customer response to a larger quantities as well. So it's done beautifully at the back end, again, by the team to make sure that none of the things are compromised.
So are you vertically integrated? Are you manufacturing also?
No, we're not manufacturing. We have partners where we outsource manufacturing with these partners.
Okay, so as far as bags are concerned, look at the Indian market as of now. We have so many counterfeit products that are circulating, in the same price bracket. A fake Louis Vuitton, a fake Gucci that's circulating within the same price band. There's a big unorganized market for luxury handbags, right? So what's your competition really, and what are your moats and then the differentiators? Because we do see those Louis Vuittons of the world circulating now within the same price band of like a 2,000 to 8,000 rupees, but obviously everyone wants to have that kind of luxury, even if it's fake.
Correct. No, so I think there's all type of consumers. India is a population of 1.5 billion people. At the same time, I also know a lot of people who does not want to buy these brands, even if they can afford to have a Louis Vuitton. But at the same time, there is a huge set of an audience who does not want to buy fake Louis Vuittons. Now, people used to buy earlier because there was no offering that helped them feel elevated, that helped them feel confident about it. So I think that's exactly what Miraggio is solving for. What we have been able to create is a strong badge value around the brand where people are confident to carry and flaunt Miraggio today, right? So the biggest differentiation I think is the customer first approach. I will say that again. If customer wanted a design first brand, we created design first products. Customer wanted it to be a high quality product, we created a high quality product. Customer wanted it to be in a accessible price point, we offered an accessible price point. So I think the entire thing that we do around the brand revolves around our customer and understanding the customer very, very deeply. And I think that's the biggest moat that we can have. If we are able to always stay relevant for our customers and are able to deliver what our customer wants, I think we'll always continue to win in the market.
Yeah. So when was that aha moment for you when you realized that you have achieved your product market fit?
A lot of metrics, but I think when there was a lot of feedback that started coming from consumers, family members, that was one of the moments. Second moment when we started seeing a huge repeat rates for our consumers. And I think the biggest validation happened when we started seeing a lot of investor traction. And when we finally closed first round of funding for us. And post which we saw a massive growth in just less than 12 months. So I think there's not just one single moment, but multiple moments. And even today we get a lot of these moments and we're like, okay, we've done something massive in the market. Right.
So you're a D2C brand. You directly speak to the consumers. One, how does that shape your product and marketing strategy? And also, what is the consumer feedback that you're getting? What are the consumer trends right now?
Yeah. So number one, how it shapes our product and marketing is we are able to see what consumer likes. We're able to respond it faster than you can think. If a certain product is working, we are able to replenish it really, really fast. We're able to multiply certain colors, certain trends if we're seeing a positive response. At the same time, we're also able to see what customer like and how frequently they would like to buy, and we're able to create personalized journeys for them in their buying journey. Second, trends. I think quiet luxury is the new big trend that's been running since a long time, if I were to just point out one, and I think it'll continue for a long period of time. I think people are now realizing their own self-worth and they actually are going for very subtle designs. And Miraggio is all about minimal designs in itself. So I think that really, really works for a brand all in all. So I think quiet luxury is the new big trend that I see.
Okay, and talk to us about your key markets that are driving growth for you, because there is a lot of aspiration that's coming from tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities. It's no longer a metro phenomenon.
Yeah, no, so I think tier 2, tier 3 is a great focus area for us as a brand as well. With our new expansion plans, we are focusing very heavily on non-metro and tier 2 cities specifically. More than 50% of our business, in fact, comes from tier 2 plus cities as well. So it does absolutely, of course, is the aspiration is, of course, increasing in these cities, and we are expecting a lot of growth. In fact, faster growth or higher growth than metro cities in these cities.
Right. So what are going to be the levers of growth for you, say, in the next 2 to 3 years? Because, this is really the time where there's a lot of competition from the unorganized and the organized space as well, and a lot of D2C brands that actually came about post-COVID. So what are going to be your levers of growth now?
Category expansion. We've expanded laptop bags as one of the category.
Yeah.
We've expanded into hobo bags as one of the category. We're going really big on wallets as one of the categories. Very soon we're going to launch backpacks as one of the categories, and many more adjacent categories in accessory space. So I think that's going to be one of the growth lever. Number two, our quick commerce entry is going to be another growth lever for us. Number three is going to be retail expansion for us. That's going to be really, really big. We're now going to start opening our retail stores. So I think these are the three big growth levers with disciplined execution is what will be the growth levers for Miraggio in coming years.
So you're basically planning an omni-channel approach. You are now planning to expand your footprint offline as well, because you're primarily online, right?
Yes, we're primarily online today, but we will now start to open experiential stores across metro cities, non-metro cities, pan-India, and we plan to open 50 stores in next 3 years.
Okay.
So I think that's the plan for us for the.
And what are the locations, geographical locations for these 50 stores?
Metro, non-metro cities, top fashion destination malls or high streets to put.
And
back.
are you planning to raise funds for the expansion?
No, we just closed our first Series A round in the month of May 2025, and we plan to just execute that with core discipline for now, and no plans to raise funds as of today.
Okay. Also talk to about, we are talking about your omni-channel strategy and how you're planning to increase your retail footprint as well. What about international shipping? Is that also something that draws a lot of traction for you? What is the percentage of revenue that you are drawing from your international market?
Right now we're focusing entirely on India market. We do see a huge potential in India market. The growth in India market is obscene, and I think a lot of international brands are now coming to India.
Yeah.
So they are seeing a growth in India. So I think there is no reason for us to focus on the international market right now. We're well satisfied with the kind of growth we are seeing in India market today.
Right. Also, I think you've given a guidance of 500 odd products in the next 1 year to come. Are you on track for that? What is going to be your strategy for so many products, like 500 products? What are the categories? Are you going to have a category expansion?
I think we're overachieving that already.
Okay.
We've launched more than 500 SKUs alone this year, and there are still 3 months to go. And this will be spread across categories. As I said, yes, there is a freshness in every single category at Miraggio every single month, from micro bags to wallets to hobos to totes to shoulder bags to crossbodies. Anything that you can think of, there is a freshness across every single month. So these SKUs are well spread across all of these categories.
Okay, so talk to us about, you started out in 2019. It's been, say, what, 5-6 years since you started out with Miraggio. What have been your biggest learnings? What have been your hits and misses so far?
See, my biggest learning has been to show up and execute. That's the biggest learning. There are days as a founder where I felt, okay, this is done. Okay, this is, extremely. I'm tired of doing all of this, to be very honest. But I think that's the thought that you need to kill before you go to the bed. Yeah. And next time you wake up and you show up and do your job once again. So I think showing up every day and not giving up is the biggest learning for me. And if not today, if not tomorrow, one day you'll find your way out. Initial few years have been very, very challenging for us. We saw our way and understand the handbag market after 2 years of starting a Miraggio. On day one, I didn't really know H of handbags or F of fashion, to be very, very honest. But I think here we are today.
Right. So also, fashion industry is something that evolves very quickly. And you said that, keeping up pace with the changing needs of the consumers. How has the need evolved in the last 5 years since you started out? Because you're saying you're launching every month you launch different handbags.
Yeah.
So that's like a crazy pace to have, different SKUs, different product launches every single month.
Correct.
How are you keeping up with that?
No, there's a lot of mess. You come to our office, you will know. Of course, it's not easy. If it was easy, I'm sure it would have done way before than that we did. It is, the consumer is changing. The attention span is decreasing for consumers. They're wanting fresh products every now and then. And as I said before in the interview as well, that we are a customer first or customer-centric.
So what you're trying to say is, if one bag comes out, say it's there for this month, next month I may not find that bag.
Maybe or maybe not. So some of the bags are discontinued and some of the bags continues to be a hero bags for us.
Yeah, I was coming to that. I was coming to your hero products because, they say that if you have to develop consumer love, you need to have a hero product instead of selling a lot of products to the consumer. So I was coming to that point.
Yeah, so I think in the journey we've launched so many products, and so many of the products will discontinue, and so many of the products out of those products will of course tend to become heroes for us.
Yeah.
So it's a journey of building a brand, and I think we are in the process of it. So there are a lot of hero products that Miraggio is now known for.
What are your hero products?
To name, the Dennis bag is the most OG product of Miraggio.
Okay.
The recent one is called Sabrina, and I can name many more. But I think the best part that we've noticed is consumers actually come and search for the product name. So the brand love is one thing, but there is also a product resonance and a product love.
Yeah.
So the customer is coming actually on the website and is not searching crossbody bags.
Yeah.
They're searching by the name, a Dennis tote bag or a Sabrina crossbody bag.
Yeah.
So I think that clearly tells us that we have been able to create some hero products already for the brand.
Right. So talk to us about your marketing strategies. What are of course, you're a D2C brand, so you have a digital-first approach. But what are going to be your marketing strategies going ahead? Because you also plan a retail expansion very soon.
So we, apart from digital influencers, social media content, which is basic hygiene, we believe in creating experiences a lot. We've done a lot of experiential events in this year, in past year, and they do really, really well for us. And I think with AI coming today and attention span reducing so much, content peaking to its extreme, people are now wanting to, be in the real world and experience in the real world. So I think we'll continue to focus more on activations and experiential events and be culturally relevant for our consumers. And I think that's going to be one of our biggest marketing strategy apart from everything we are doing.
Right, Mohit, so finally, we are a show for the young startup founders. You're a young startup founder. So tell us about the advice that you'd like to give our young startup founders to learn from.
As I said before in the interview as well, don't give up, never give up. I very, very strongly believe in this because, मेहनत करने वालों की हार नहीं होती is what is being said, and I think that's actually really true, and that has been a real story for me as well. जिसको हैंडबैग के बारे में, फैशन के बारे में, no background, no education, and today we are the fastest growing handbag brand in the country. I think it has proven for me, and I think that's one advice that I always give everyone, and I think that's the only thing that I would say to young founders.
Right, and do you get the designs done at your back end? You have a design team for these handbags, or how does it work?
Absolutely. We have a very strong in-house design team of young designers to the most experienced designers. In fact, we have hired designers across the globe who has worked for luxury brands in the past as well. So we have a very strong design ecosystem, and that is why we're able to win in the market today.
Right. So before we let you go, Mohit, I need to understand, how do you maintain cost efficiencies while with these aggressive expansion plans and, have products that are coming out perhaps every month? How do you maintain your costs?
Very strong discipline in terms of how we design, what kind of materials are used, and most importantly, the supply chain and the partnership. So a very, very strong, deep partnership with the people we work with. They understand our brand, they understand the Indian market, they understand Indian consumer, and they understand the speed we need at, they understand the quality we need, and they also understand the price we need. And it was not easy because in these vendors didn't know how to create a product which is actually so good, but also at a price point you need. So it was, it went through a lot of, you know, trials and errors and this and that, and actually we were able to get the right product. That how do you actually create a product for Indian consumer and as per Indian needs. I mean, products that were sold before in Indian market were actually not right as per the usage of Indian women. So we also solved that along with solving for the cost. So I think there's a lot of trial and errors and understanding what kind of material, what kind of reinforcements, what kind of zippers, what kind of pullers, hardwares, metals. So it was a very, very deep partnership, and also how do you solve for that supply chain entirely? How do you cut, cycles of these suppliers from one to another? There are a lot of years and months and trials and errors that went through to actually help us achieve this. But I'm glad we were able to create something very, very differentiated in the market, which customers are actually liking and are finding really value for money for the product they are paying for.
Right. So have you broken even as far as what is your path to profitability? And in the next 5 years or in the years to come, are you looking at an IPO, because that's that's the ultimate goal for a founder? So is that something that's on the cards?
We're focusing on delivering the right product and staying relevant for consumers, and I think rest is a journey. If it is going to be IPO or whatever, I think we're focusing on next 6 months and next 12 months and next 18 months execution, and I think the results are great. We are growing. There is no reason why we can't become India's first ever aspirational largest brand, which might also lead us to IPO. But I think we are focusing on strong disciplined execution of the products and making sure we are relevant for the consumers for the longest time. And I think fashion brands in India are not dead because of demand. I guess it is because they're not able to stay relevant for a longer period of time, and that's one thing that we want to stick by and swear by. And if we are able to stay relevant, IPO is an outcome which will automatically come.
All right, for that, all the best to you, Mohit, and thank you so much for taking the time out and being here.
Thank you so much.